You will never reach your true potential unless you achieve the challenging goals you set out for yourself. And that's exactly why 90% of people leave this planet with a list of regrets. The reason why most people never achieve their goals is because they quit when things get tough, due to them lacking perseverance and discipline. If I told you that to get to your end destination, to get what you want, you have to go through this dark tunnel where there's no light at the end of it, you do not know what you're walking into. But if I told you that tunnel was 100 meters long, you would walk into it and walk straight through because you know how far it is. You know the distance. But if I didn't tell you any instructions, I didn't give you any sort of guidance, walking through that tunnel is going to feel terrifying. You're going to get scared. You're not going to know where you're going, and you're going to turn back because it is too much for you to handle. Therefore, giving people the bigger picture of the challenge that they're about to embark on themselves oftentimes helps people stick through it because they understand the full scope of it. Versus approaching it blind leaves anxiety to start ramping up, and you oftentimes quit, which is why I'm going to take you through the 6 stages of a difficult journey. That way you know what to expect when each challenge comes around and how to deal with it. With everybody, their journey starts with the nervous leap of faith, where their initial decision to change finally clicks in. They are sick and tired of who they are right now. They do not want to be this person anymore. They want to change something, whether that's advancing within your career, whether that's getting in shape, losing weight, building on more muscle, going out and seeking out a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, looking for something that is missing within your life that you know is scary. This is a scary journey to embark on. So you're choosing to make that nervous leap of faith. Nobody ever makes a leap of faith when they're feeling 100% confident. It's almost unheard of. All the time, you're going to have to face anxiety, and you're going to have to embrace that anxiety. You're going to be uncertain during all of it. And taking that first step is always going to be scary and unknown. But once you do take that step, is when you get to uninformed optimism. This is almost like the honeymoon phase. You feel high levels of motivation. You're super excited for what you're about to embark on. It's like any sort of new journey. The first time that you come into a gym, you're nervous as hell. But once you start getting a few workouts in, you feel all this excitement, all this motivation. Maybe you see a little bit of weight come off the scale. Whenever you're starting a new job, it's nervous and scary at first, but once you start to get to know that environment, it's nice, it's new. This is something that is out of the ordinary. There's always going to be a novelty and an overconfidence within this stage of your journey. Whenever you're starting a new job and you start to understand the workings of the office, you start to understand the different dynamics, it feels really nice to get into that flow state, to start really entering into that environment. Whenever you're starting off in the gym, all those endorphins, you're feeling amazing, you're feeling happy. This is exactly the part of the journey where you don't know what you don't know. You don't know the downsides and the challenges that are going to come with this new journey that you're embarking yourself on. If it's starting a new job, right, career, that could be like you don't know that your boss is actually kind of a dickhead. He may come off really nice and sweet at first, but then once you start to really settle in, he really shows his true colors. If it's starting off in the gym, you may get really excited and may get really happy with the exercise part of it, but you don't really know right now that the nutrition is honestly 80% of the equation, and that recovery matters, and that going out and doing stuff like drinking on the weekends can't contribute to your gym goals, to your physique goals. So you don't know what you don't know in this part of the journey. And that's slowly where the creeping realization hits. The initial excitement fades and work gets harder, doubts start to emerge, and reality sets in. This is the stage where the red flags aren't fully there, but they are starting to creep up on you. You're starting to slowly realize that this is not exactly what I expected. Starting off in the gym, you may be really excited, but then you start to get to understand like, okay, just working out isn't really moving the scale. I'm not losing much weight because of this. Okay, I might have to look for some other solutions. Starting off in that new job, the boss might snap at you or make a snide remark that catches you a little bit off guard, and you go, that's a little bit weird. That's not something that I've been shown before. This isn't really the stage where shit hits the fan, but you start to feel that uneasy feeling in the back of your head, or that whisper in the back of your head going, okay, this is going to be a lot more challenging than what I actually initially thought. And what's crazy is that a lot of people already quit at this stage. The moment that there's some sort of challenge, They're ready to leave out the door because they're not prepared to face it. They love the novelty. They love the excitement of starting something new. They don't actually like the challenge that comes with sticking with it, the consistency aspect of it. That part is really scary to them, and they don't know how to handle it, which is exactly why some people quit at this stage. When you're entering phases like this within your journey where things start to get more challenging and you're starting to really doubt yourself and question yourself whether or not you can do it, you have to really ask yourself, am I in this for the novelty and the excitement of starting something new, or am I in this for the end result? Because for a lot of people, they're actually choosing the first option. They like the excitement of starting something new. They like getting into that relationship, the honeymoon phase. They like always finding a new job where it's an exciting new environment, new people, new coworkers. They don't really like sticking with it because sticking with it is hard. That is exactly why at the start of the race, it's you and a sea and a crowd of people. But at the last mile, it's just you. It's just you because so many people drop out. They can't see stuff through, which is why we live in a world where there's a lot of losers and a lot of quitters, not a lot of winners. So you have to truly ask yourself, what are you in this for? Are you in this to see excitement within starting something new, or do you actually want to fucking get shit done? Do you actually want to finally achieve your dream physique? Do you actually finally want to progress up into a career that you're happy with? Do you finally want to find the girl that you're going to settle down with for life? All right? Or do you want to hop from relationship to relationship, hop from new job to new career to new job to new career? Do you want to just start in the gym and quit the gym? Start the gym and quit the gym, finding those endorphins 24/7. That's not actually what gets you guys real term or real long-term results. And this next stage is exactly where 90% of people drop off. It is the hardest stage because this is the valley of despair. You will go from having the little problem signs pop up, the little red flags, and now full blown, you're understanding, wow, this is going to take a lot more capacity. This is going to take a lot more work than I ever thought it would. You're completely dumbfounded and surprised. By this stage, your motivation is completely gone. Progress feels impossible and slow because there's no new excitement or novelty behind stuff. Old habits start tempting you back, whether you're starting within the gym, that laziness really starts to creep up on you. You start skipping workouts. You start finding reasons to not do difficult things, not eat the right foods. And then there's a gap between expectation and reality. That gap is huge. For most people, they think that they can achieve something challenging a lot quicker than what's actually feasible or realistic. Now, I'm a big believer in shooting for the stars because shooting for realistic expectations usually gets people to just be mediocre. But when you're starting off on something that's completely brand new, you have no knowledge behind it, you are just starting off, you are a complete newbie, you have to have small wins in order to encourage you to keep going. Because this is something new, scary, challenging. You have no idea how to navigate this. So if you shoot for the stars, yeah, most of the time, you're gonna feel quite disappointed when you get nowhere close. If you say, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds within 3 months, and you've never dieted before, you're in for a rude awakening. You're not gonna lose that weight, nor is even a person who's experienced with dieting able to lose that much amount of weight within such a short time period. But as a newbie, even worse. And what's even worse about this is that you're going to forever have your viewpoint of whatever challenge you're doing to be skewed and negative, saying like, oh, well, weight loss is just too impossible, right? Like I tried. But that's exactly where people reach their critical breaking point. And that's where 90% of people fall off. So if you, my friend, are watching this right now and you're in this stage, you're in the valley of despair, know that this is right where most people quit. And if you can just keep pushing and just keep pushing day after day, don't set any expectations of how long it's going to take for you to reach your goals. Just focus on day in, day out, doing the stuff that you need to in order to see success within whatever alley or whatever challenge you're embarking yourself on. You will beat 99% of people because most people quit when they reach down to the valley of despair. They love the excitement. They don't love the hard work and the discipline it takes to actually get to their end result. So this stage I call going the distance. This is exactly where a lot of people's mental fortitude gets tested. And this is honestly the most exciting part, because where most people quit in the valley of despair, going the distance is where you really start to separate winners from losers, because you have now moved all of the really weak ass motherfuckers who can't endure any sort of challenge, and you're now left with a stronger breed of people. You're left with the people who actually know how to endure challenge. And now that's where the real competition starts, because you get to see who is able to push through the pain, who is able to build consistency without any ounce of motivation. By this stage, motivation is completely gone. It's a fart in the wind. It's a unicorn. It doesn't exist. And that's exactly where small wins come in so handy. If you are holding onto your small wins, every little small thing that you achieve, you have some level of gratitude towards it, you will always feel energized to keep going the distance, right? Guys, I've said it countless times before, but people like Rocky and David Goggins are so idolized because going the distance is so rare. In a world where mediocrity and quitting is second to none, it's accepted. Consistency and just sticking to it is so idolized. It is so rare. So if you're just able to be consistent and stack up your small wins and learn to show up regardless of how you're feeling, no matter if it's raining, if it's sunny, if it's gloomy, if you're depressed, if you're angry, no matter the conditions, if you are able to keep showing up, no matter what life throws at you, you will be able to separate yourself from the creme of the crop, from the people that are already able to go past the valley of despair and push through it. And if you are able to push through the going the distance stage, where you're able to go all 9 rounds, then that is exactly what separates you from most people. So just understand that going the distance is truly, truly, truly one of the last barriers that you have to cross in order to be the person that you want to be. If you finally want to achieve your dream physique, achieve your dream career, get the girl that you've always wanted, you are going to have to go the distance. Get your reps in day after day after day. And that's exactly where a calloused mind comes in, where the discipline fully starts to form. Because one of the best definitions I've heard of discipline is consistently showing up and doing something uncomfortable and painful without any expectation of a reward after doing it. That is one of the best definitions of discipline that I've ever heard, because it's no longer a measure of are you disciplined or are you not disciplined. It's how disciplined are you? Are you able to keep showing up without any reward to show for it? Are you able to keep doing the challenging thing without any ounce of reward, without any ounce of motivation? And that's where discomfort becomes normal with a calloused mind. Resiliency is built, new habits are solidified, and sustainable change is achieved. This is truly the part where you get through the down period and you finally start to see the trend upwards. You finally start to see the wins just because you were able to push through. You guys have to find a way to drill into your head a mindset of like, I just have to keep showing up, because if I don't keep showing up, then I just go back to whatever it was that I didn't want to have. If it's building that dream physique because you hate the way that you look right now, you are disgusted with yourself every single time you look into the mirror, you're going to have to keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up, because if you don't, if you quit, you are just going to go back to that version of yourself that you don't like. And guess what? If you wait, 5 years is going to go by and you're still exactly the same person. But if you keep working on it, 5 years' time, you will have either hopefully have reached your dream physique, or you have learned something extremely valuable about how to achieve your dream physique. You're always going to be moving forward as opposed to moving backwards or staying in the exact same place. Time moves forward, so you have to move along with time, or else you will get left behind. And that's exactly where calloused mind is the last step before you reach exactly what you want. You may go from being just like me here, fat, unhappy, depressed, not an ounce of pride when looking at myself through the mirror, to then starting on my health journey, feeling that uninformed optimism, feeling excited that I'm doing something, I'm finally embarking on my journey, finally getting my dream physique, and then going through the stages where I can feel that this is going to be a lot harder than I ever expected, to reaching the valley of despair where I'm just done. I don't like dieting. I want to have cheat meals, but I keep going through it because I'm going to go the distance. I meal prep. Phone just died. I knew that I was spitting such sauce and such hard game that I was like, no, gotta cut it out. Can't be giving this away. But the callous mind is exactly the stage where you build on true discipline, where you go through the challenge and you have gone the distance. You keep coming back, even though that there is no reward to show for your hard deeds, the challenge that you go through. And that is the part that really elevates you. That's the part that makes you become the dream you. Your goal has been achieved. You have gone through the challenging journey. You are past that dark tunnel and you have what you want now. So use this chart, understand this chart, because a lot of you guys will get lost in the weeds. When life gets tough, when things get difficult, you have to understand the bigger picture. Because if you quit and give up, because the thing is, even if what you're trying to achieve will take a long time, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, if you do nothing about it, if you do nothing for the next 5 years, nothing will change and 5 years will still have gone by. Time always keeps moving. You're either going to be a victim to time and do nothing with it, or you're going to take time into your own hands and actually achieve what you have always wanted to achieve. Understand the bigger picture and embrace the difficulty of it all.